How's it going, guys? My name is TJP, and welcome to Madden NFL 23 franchise. We got a fantasy draft rebuild. So, the rules will be different now in the past since we've done injuries on and all that. This time with the fantasy draft, we're going to have injuries off. So, what we're going to do is basically have 3 seats to try to win a Super Bowl fantasy draft team. So, I'll probably make some of the selections. I'll show you guys what the selections we do. I'll probably let the CP do the rest. And then we can make moves based on that. We're going to pick a random team, and that'll be the team that we use for the fantasy draft. Sounds pretty simple, so it should be fun, and I'm excited to get on into it. Before we do, though, hit the like button, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Let me know down in the comments below some more video days. Got our social down in the description. We have a playlist down below containing other Madden NFL 23 franchise rebuilding challenges or rebuilding videos, as well as check out my channel for content, TJP, second channel down below in the description too. And with that being said, it's time to get on to the gameplay. Alright, so we're locked and loaded into the game. We're just going to pick a random team here, so we'll just scroll through. Doesn't really matter what team we get since, like I said, it's going to be a fantasy draft. So we're just going to stop in 3, 2, 1, and we're going to stop right there. And what team is it going to be? The Philadelphia Eagles for the fantasy draft. Again, this won't be the team it'll be the fantasy draft. So we'll be drafting the players. I'm not sure how many selections I want to do. Maybe 20. We'll see how many. Hopefully the game does not freeze on me. It might do that, so hopefully it doesn't do that. Alright, so we're about to do our fantasy draft, and we have the 28th pick, so this should be pretty fun, and it is a snake draft, so that's kind of interesting. Let's see who's out there, who we're going to take with our first pick. Well, Aaron Donald's here. That'd be a decent pick. I could go with Tom Brady as a QB. I feel like I'm going to need a QB. Christian McCaffrey is also here. There's a lot of decent players. Nick Chubb is out there. All right, let's do Aaron Donald. I feel like he usually always wins Defensive Player of the Year, so that's gonna be really helpful for our defense. That's a good anchor for us. So we're gonna take him. All right, so with my second pick, I'm gonna pick up Christian McCaffrey. So he'll be our starting running back for the team. All right, I need a quarterback, so I picked Jameis Winston. I know it might be a reach, but I feel like quarterbacks, most of the quarterbacks are already gone, so I'm going to get somebody like Jameis Winston who fits the scheme of the team. So he'll be our QB. Not the best pick, bit of a reach, but I do need a quarterback, so. All right, next pick, I'm going to take Deandre Hopkins. Might have been a bit of a reach here, but you know what? He's a really good wide receiver. He'll be our #1 option on that end of the field, so welcome to the team, Deandre Hopkins. All right, I'm going to go with the free safety here. We're going to go with Justin Simmons to pick up for the team. So he'll be our starting free safety. I feel like it's a pretty solid pick for us. All right, so for my next pick, I picked up a cornerback. We're going to go with Byron Jones. Might have been a little bit of a reach there, but he does fit the scheme of the team. So Byron Jones, welcome to the squad. All right, next pick I'm going to take here. I'm going to take another safety here, strong safety. We're going to have Adrian Amos on the squad. So welcome to Team Adrian. I want to get some guys from my line. So we're going to go with Trent Brown, left tackle. Fits the scheme of the team. So Trent Brown, welcome to the squad. Center, we're going to take Corey Linsley for the squad. So pretty solid center. Help out our O-line out. Should be pretty cool behind there. Fits the scheme of the team as well. Cornerback here, we're going to go with Casey Hayward Jr. To be our other cornerback. So pretty solid pick there. Fits the scheme of the team. I know it might be a reach, but we're going to take him there with that. I want to draft another wide receiver, so I'm going to go with Robert Woods, another player that does fit the scheme of the team. So he is our secondary secondary wide receiver on the other side of the field. So pretty solid there. A little 1-2 punch there with Hopkins in. All right, I wanted to pick up a linebacker, so we're going to go with Denzel Perryman. So might have been a bit of a reach, but I did need a linebacker. I don't really have any, so I'm going to take him while he is on the board. All right, I'm going to pick up a tight end. We're going to go with Zach Ertz. So I feel like our receivers are pretty solid now. He's going to be a really solid tight end for us. So Zach Ertz, welcome to the team. I'm going to make one more selection. I'll let the CPU draft the rest. Last pick I'm going to make here, I just wanted to pick up a defensive tackle. We're going to pick up Linval Joseph for the team. And I'm just going to let the CPU draft the rest of the squad for the fantasy draft. And then we'll get on into looking at the roster and potentially make some trades. So let's take a look at the roster that we have here with the Eagles of our fantasy draft. So obviously you guys saw we took Aaron Donald, we have Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Simmons, Corey Linsley, Adrian Amos, Byron Jones, Casey Hayward Jr., Robert Woods, Trent Brown, Zach Ertz, Denzel Perryman, Linval Joseph, picked up Mike McGlinchey, Justin Pugh, Chase Edmonds, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Matt Filer, James Winston, Shannon Sullivan, Donovan Smith, Mike Davis, Frankie Louvu, Will Hernandez, Michael Brockers. I mean, there's definitely some really good players on this team. I guess we could take a look at the, take a look at it like this. Yeah, Winston's my starting QB. It's not terrible. It'll do the trick, I guess, for this season. I mean, we could always run the ball, too, with McCaffrey. And I guess Edmonds is my secondary back, which is kind of interesting. We don't have fullback. Wide receivers, Hopkins, Woods, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Tavon Austin. Okay, nothing incredible there. Our tight end, Zach Ertz, pretty solid. Trent Brown, left tackle with Donovan Smith. Just Pugh and Matt Filer, my left guards. It's okay. Corey Linsley, and then we've got right guard, Will Hernandez. Maybe we could look to upgrade that. Mike Lynchy, right tackle. Left end, Tyquan Lewis. Benson Mayowa. Probably could look to improve that. Davidson. We got right end. Got Aaron Donald, best one in the game. Linval Joseph, defensive tackle. Michael Brockers. Tim Settle. Frankie Louvu, left outside linebacker. So we see if we can go into something. Then we got our mid linebacker, Tensel Perriman. Kind of a little bit thin after that. Malcolm Rodriguez, right outside linebacker. And our corners are pretty solid with Byron Jones, Casey Hayward Jr. And then we have Sullivan as well. And then free safety, Justin Simmons, and then Adrian Amos, our strong safety. So, honestly, on that front, we look pretty good. Oh, do we have a kicker? I don't know if we have a kicker. We might need to sign somebody. But let's take a look at the improved team if we have a kicker and a punter. We might. If we don't, we'll just pick one up. And I guess we'll just pick one up. Chris Boswell. Sure. We'll sign you. And then we will also sign a punter, which will be Johnny Hecker. Wait, do we have a punter? No, we don't have a punter, right? Yeah, Johnny Hecker. He'll be our punter. So there we go. Kicker and a punter has been acquired. So yeah, I mean, we're kind of thin in some areas, mainly our lines. Right outside linebacker, like I said, maybe we could look to improve there on the left end. So I'm going to take a look at our pick situation. We'll see what we got going on. I do kind of like this team, surprisingly. I feel like they could be pretty decent. But yeah, let's take a look. So a lot of cap space, obviously. And that should be interesting to see what we decide to wanting to do. We do have 2 first-round picks, which is nice this upcoming season. So we do have some assets with this this random team that we picked. As you guys saw me pick it. So that's pretty cool. 18 and 19. I mean, we could try to get a good left end. I'll see what's out there. If I can't find anything, we can always look to make a move in the midseason. All right, I made this trade here with the 49ers. I'm trading away our picks next season, first and 2 seconds to the 49ers for J.J. Watt and also Kazir White. So we do improve our left end and our right outside linebacker. Both of them fit the scheme of the team as well, which is pretty cool. So that's the only move I'm going to make. I think for now, we'll wait to the midseason to see how this team is performing and then try to go from there. So I'll see you guys once I'm there. No injuries, so we don't have to worry about that, which is cool. So yeah, let's see how we can do. All right, so we're at the midseason, sitting at 4-2, which isn't bad. The only issue is the Commanders are 6-1 and the Giants are 5-2. So we're in a pretty tough division. It looks like Cowboys are 0-7 though, so that's good to see, I guess. We don't have to worry too much about that. And our defense has been pretty good. Offense, passing has been pretty bad. But yeah, so yeah, we probably have to find a better quarterback than Jameis Winston. Good thing we have our 2 first-round picks. But let's take a look at standings so far in the NFL and see what we got going on here. Best team in the league is the Commanders. They're 6-1. We're still in the hunt, though. Possibly could make the playoffs. You know, 3 teams could make the playoffs in the NFC East. So yeah, Cowboys are the only team that are defeated. Rather, they're 0-7. So yeah, I mean, we're all right so far. Let's take a look at these stats and awards for this upcoming season. Really just the stats. So yeah, Jameis Winston, 1,512 yards, 10 TDs, 6 interceptions, 91.3 passer rating. Not amazing. Rush-wise, McCaffrey's done well, 548 with 7 TDs. Winston's my second best rusher, and then Chase Edmonds. He's actually out of Fordham, which is kind of cool. Not too far away from Philly. I mean, obviously it's a couple hours away since Fordham's in the Bronx, but still. Robert Woods, leading receiver, 441 yards, 3 TDs. Then Zach Ertz, Peoples-Jones. And interestingly enough, DeAndre Hopkins hasn't had that many receptions. Only 23, but 284. He's done all right. So yeah, receivers could be doing a little bit better, but again, Jameis Winston's not the best QB for the job, it looks like. Our blocking, it's okay. Not too bad so far through 6 games. Kazir White leading my team in tackles, and Perryman, Byron Jones, Adrian Amos, Aaron Donald, and Justin Simmons. We got sacks, 5 for Donald. Tyquan Lewis, 4 sacks as well for him, so that's pretty impressive. J.J. Watt also doing his thing out there, 2.5 sacks. And then we got Denzel Perryman, Luvu, and then Linval Joseph, and then Jones even has a half sack. In terms of interceptions, we've got 8 as a team. You guys can see who's got the interceptions. 3 people with 2, 2 people with 1. Chris Boswell, solid job kicking so far. Johnny Hecker's punting. We get our kick return and punt return. So, offensive yards, 24th in the league, and mainly that is because of our passing is probably going to be, well, near the bottom of the league. 15 to 12 yards, and what do you know, it's near the bottom. Rush yards is near the top, which is cool to see. Top half of the league. So hopefully we can run the ball a little bit more, because obviously our passing is not looking too hot. And then, middle of the pack in terms of scoring. And defensively, we've been pretty good in terms of total yards allowed. We haven't had too many. Our passing yards per game is, I think, near the top half of the league. And it is. It's pretty good. I just sneezed. And then defensive yards for rush has been solid. And 128 points allowed. Pretty good. So, yeah, our defense has been good. Definitely better than our offense. Maybe we could try to get a quarterback in the draft. I mean, obviously, C.J. Stroud be there. Maybe an Anthony Richardson. Because, obviously, Bryce Young's going to go number 1 overall. We all know that. But, yeah, I got to actually load in the draft class. I forgot to do that. So, I'm going to do that now. And I'll see you guys at the end of the year, where I'm not going to make any moves. We'll just keep the team the way it is. And hopefully make the playoffs. Well, we ended up going 13-4. Which is awesome. Unfortunately, the Commanders were also 13-4, so this team ended up being really good. And we could potentially lose though in the wild card. Unfortunately, the Rams were not even the home team, which is crazy. But great season though for us, and we ended up doing pretty solid. So that's good to see. So yeah, let's take a look at the standings. Yeah, Commanders were 13-4. We were 13-4. The 2 best teams in terms of record were us, which is cool, and they get a bye. Because they had the division over us, unfortunately, or the conference, rather. Whatever you want to call it. The NFC East. The National Football Conference East Division. I don't know. Whatever the name is. Whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, 13-4. That's all that matters. Our team is good. Actually, James Winston did end up doing pretty good in the second half of the season. So I like to see that. Not too bad in the passing. Didn't pass too much, but 33 TDs, 11 interceptions, 3-to-1 ratio. 69% completion percentage, 107.1 passer rating. That'll do. That'll definitely do, Jameis. I'll take it. Obviously, McCaffrey is really good. 1,576 yards, 21 TDs. And Winston was also good as a rusher. So I guess he's kind of like another running back, too. So that's nice to have on the team. Deandre Hopkins ended up being my leading receiver. 1,551 yards. 1,151 yards, 7 TDs. Robert Woods, almost 1,000 receiving yards for him, 9 TDs to lead the team. Zach Ertz was also good, so was Donovan Peoples-Jones. So yeah, and then McCaffrey is basically like our 5th wide receiver, kind of. So, yeah, blocking. McGlinchey and Brown let up a little too many tackles for my liking. Little sacks, but it, wasn't awful. I've seen worse. Kazir White led my team in tackles, and Perryman. Amos, Byron Jones, Justin Simmons. Chandon Sullivan, Aaron Donald was good too. Ended up having 13 sacks, 12.5 for J.J. Watt. Tyquan Lewis was really good too, 7 sacks for him, 5 for Frankie Luvu, 5.5 for him, and then a bunch of other guys down here. In terms of interceptions, almost led the team with 3. Perryman with 2, as well as White and Hayward Jr., and then we had Jones, Sullivan, and Desir with 1. Chris Boswell, good kicking, good punting for Johnny Hecker, and then your kick return and punt return. So, ended up 4th in total offensive yards, as you guys can see, which is pretty good. Our passing, I would assume, was probably, it was actually near the top, surprisingly. Top half of the league. And our rush was also near the top half of the league, for sure, top 5. And then 29.1 points per game puts us near the top as well. So our offense ended up being pretty good. And then in terms of our defensive yards allowed, we were near the bottom because our passing yards, we kind of allowed a little too many passing yards for my liking. But our rush was good, and then in terms of points allowed, we let a lot of people pass against us, but they weren't scoring though. I'll tell you that. So, good stuff there from us. In terms of awards, at least the MVP and Coach of the Year. We'll look at that now. Aaron Rodgers is on the Commanders. No wonder they were so good. So that is who the Commanders have, obviously. And then we had Coach of the Year, Nick Sirianni. Cool. He seems to win that a lot, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but he does. So yeah, we're taking on the Rams. I'm kind of curious to see, like, who's on the Rams in this scenario, right? So let's take a look at their roster. Just quick little glance at some of the people that they have on their team. So before we simulate, and yeah, they got T.J. Watt, Tyron Smith, Darius Slay, Khalil Mack. They have a good team. Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette. That's a good running back combination. Ridley. All right, yeah, this team is pretty good. They're starting quarterback Sam Darnold, and I've seen Sam Darnold put up some crazy numbers. So don't sleep on him. Well, hopefully we can beat them. Do we want to watch the game? You know what? I've kind of having this itch of let's just watch the game. Why not? You know, it's on a 1-season challenge, but we could just watch the game, right? Do you guys want to do that? I think we can. So let's do it. Let's watch. Here we go. We are watching the game, and in the Super Sim, we got off to a good start. We're up 14-0. Rams scored the touchdown. We scored another one, 21-7, 28-7. Looking like a blowout here. And yeah, we just continue to score. They got a field goal, though. We got another TD. And, okay, they scored a TD, though. Extra point, Brandon McManus. 31-17, 37-24. And we score another TD as we ended up winning the game 43-24 to advance to the divisional playoff. So we're taking on our arch nemesis, the Washington Commanders, in the divisional playoff. Let's see if we can end up beating them. I will see you guys in the Super Sim. At the Super Sim, here we go. Washington gets off to a 3-0 lead. We score a touchdown, though, so we get the lead back. They scored another one. It's 10-7, 13-7. Oh, we take the lead. 14-13. They must have missed an extra point, or maybe they scored a field goal. We scored a TD. It's 21-13. And going to the fourth quarter, they get a field goal. Can we hold them? We do score a TD, a big one, and we end up winning against the Commanders to go to the NFC Conference Championship game. We beat the best team in the NFL. Let's go. On the New Orleans Saints in the NFC Conference Championship game, we are going to once again go into the Super Sim. At least for the first season, we might as well just do the Super Sim. So I've already started it. All right, in the Super Sim, here we go. We get off to a 3-0 lead in the first quarter, and we score a TD. It is 10-0, 17-0. They get a TD, though. They're not going away. It's 24-7. They got the ball. Now we're in the third quarter. We're still up. It's a very low-scoring game in that quarter. All right, at 27-7, and it looks like we're going to pull the victory and go to the Super Bowl. They do score a TD, though, but it is not enough as we are able to hold on and beat the Saints to go to the Super Bowl. Let's see who we're taking on. It is Super Bowl week, and we are taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Curious to see who they have on the team. I forgot to show you guys who was on the Commanders, but you guys already know it was Aaron Rodgers. And then, who's on the Saints? I guess we can look at who was on the Saints. But we're going to look at who's on the Raiders. I'm kind of curious to see who's there, too. If you guys saw their rankings. Yeah, let's just take a look at who's on the Commanders besides Aaron Rodgers. Zach Martin, Aaron Rodgers, Von Miller. Okay, yeah, they had a good team. Obviously, they were one of the best teams. Who was on the Saints? Let's see. Let's go to the Saints. Because they're right here. Myles Garrett, Monte Davis, Quan Barkley, Gilmore. Oh, they have a good team. Yeah, we beat some good teams. I gotta say, Baker Mayfield was a QB. Okay. Alright, well, the Raiders, who do they got? Joe Burrow, Ezekiel Elliott, Chase Young. Okay, they got a good team. Godwin, Cox. Yeah, they have a solid team. They also have Matt Ryan as their backup QB, which is pretty insane. All right, well, we're in the Super Bowl, so let's see if we can beat the Raiders to win the Super Bowl in our first season. That'd be kind of insane. Here we go, the Super Sim, and we start off with a field goal, first possession. Raiders get a touchdown. We get a touchdown back. It's 10-7, going back and forth. They get a field goal. It's a close game, 10-10. Past in the second half, we get another field goal here. Let's hold them in the fourth quarter. They get to score a TD. We need to score here. We need to hold them. It's a close game, and we end up losing the Super Bowl 17-13. What a low-scoring game. Oh, boy. That stinks. Get to the Super Bowl and lose it. It was a close one, though. But, yeah, how unfortunate as the Raiders end up winning the Super Bowl. Well, it's all good, though. We got 2 more seasons. Burrow was the Super Bowl MVP. You guys can see the awards. We had Christian McCaffrey for our team win Offensive Player of the Year. Parsons from the Cardinals. And Rookie of the Year, George Pickens from the Lions. And Aiden Hutchinson, Cowboys. It's kind of funny. Yeah, Offensive Defensive Rookies of the Year, respectively. So, unfortunately, could not get the Super Bowl in our first season. But we still have 2 more seasons. Let's advance. Alright, well, we have a ton of money here. A lot of guys up for free agency. So we're going to try to see if we can resign a few of these guys here. And yeah, let's see what we can end up doing in free agency too. So I'm going to offer some of these guys some contracts and see if we can keep them. Alright, so I did offer a few guys contracts. We signed Boswell, Hecker. We also re-signed Byron. We re-signed Ertz. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to let Chase Edmonds, maybe we'll test, and Jameis Winston. We have a ton of money in free agency, so we're going to have a fun one. Let's see who we can end up picking up for this team. Free agency recap, what we ended up doing here. So, I picked up Alvin Kamara. Him and McCaffrey are going to be my running back combination. I also picked up Kyle Juszczyk, fullback. I know we don't really use the fullbacks, but you know what? Fits the scheme of the team, and he's just another option out there. We got Xavier Rhodes, another cornerback, fit the scheme of the team. I re-signed Jameis Winston because there's really no quarterbacks out there. We also got Brian Winters, just another right guard for the team since I feel like we were lacking right guard. So that was pretty solid free agency. We still have a lot of cap room. We have our draft as well, so we'll try to draft some young guys that'll develop and fit with us. And yeah, it should be fun. So I'll see you guys at the draft. I'll show you guys my first round picks that we end up selecting, and then we'll 29 and pick 31. Just an FYI in case you guys were curious. So we're gonna make our selection here with our pick. Let's see what's out there. I'm kind of curious what we would need. Defensive tackle, we're kind of thin on. Cornerback, could use one of those, but there's really nobody out there that's, I guess, amazing. Backup QB, Hendon Hooker, could go with him. We'll leave highs. But, let's go with, let's see if there's any corners out here. I'm looking, or defensive tackles. I can go with Javon Dexter Sr. He wouldn't be too bad. Go with Keith Richardson as well. I feel like Dexter Sr. wouldn't be too bad, so I think I'm going to pick him up for the squad. And then we have one more selection in the first round, so I'll show you guys who we end up picking there. Cornerback, we picked up Antonio Johnson. So those are my 2 first-round picks. I'm going to make the rest of my selections, and I'll see you guys at the draft recap. So at the draft recap, in case you were curious, let's take a look at the who else we ended up picking up. So we got Dexter Sr., Johnson, you saw me pick them. We got Akeem Dent. We got DJ. I can't say the rest of his name. I don't even know if he's real or not. He might be. But, quarterback, and then we have wide receiver Jake Cowing, Jonathan Armstrong, left end, and we got Emmett Beasley. So, yeah, that's going to be the draft recap, and I'll see you guys at the start of the second season, where I'll show you guys the roster, improved team functionality, and then we'll go from there. Second season, let's take a look at the roster that we're going to be putting onto the gridiron. We got Aaron Donald, Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Simmons, Alvin Kamara, Corey Linsley, Adrian Amos, Byron Jones, Kyle Juszczyk, J.J. Watt, Trent Brown, Robert Woods, Chris Boswell, Mike Glinchey, Casey Hayward Jr., Zach Ertz, Kazir White, Johnny Hecker, Justin Pugh, Denzel Perryman, Donovan Smith, Jonathan Peoples-Jones, Linval Joseph, Xavier Rhodes, Jameis Winston. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely talent on this team, as you guys can see. So, I mean, also some young talent, too, that can also improve throughout the season. A couple of veterans that might decline, but you know what? The team is looking good. I think we can be good again. I mean, we were 13-4 last season. Hopefully we can go 13-4 again this season. We made the Super Bowl. Hopefully we can make it again and win it this time. But let's take a look at the improved team and see what we got going on here. Yeah, I still might want to get a bit better QB than Jameis Winston, but it's not terrible. I mean, he had a good year, so can't complain about that. Our right guards, Filer and Winters, isn't the best, but it'll do the trick. Linval Joseph, Javon Dexter Sr. That's interesting there. And then our left outside linebacker, Frankie Louvu, and then Malcolm Rodriguez, although he's a right outside linebacker. So, yeah, it's not too great there. But honestly, other than those positions, we're almost pretty much everything B- or better. So in the green, but C+ isn't awful. So I guess if anything, we could always look to make a move at the midseason. But I think for now, I think we need to rock with this team. I think we should be pretty good, and I'll see you guys at the midseason. This is the biggest game of the season so far. The Commanders are 7-0, and what do you know? We are also 7-0. Our rankings are all really good, except, wow, we're almost number one. We're number 1 in 4 of the ranks. 8th in defensive pass yards per game, which is something that the Commanders are not good at. And then we're 24th in pass yards per game, whereas they're 9th. So what we're bad at, they're good at, and vice versa. Yet somehow we are 7-0 with them. So that's pretty insane. Cowboys are once again 0-7, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, this is a big game right here. So yeah, Titans are also 7-0. I mean, I saw them in the preseason. I was like, oh damn, this team is legit. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we're in a pretty interesting spot here. So yeah, 7-0, awesome season so far for us. Looking pretty good. But let's take a look at the stats for this season and see what we got going on here. So stats and awards. Jameis Winston's been pretty solid. He just doesn't throw the ball too much. Only 14 TDs, which is not too bad. Only 1 interception, which is great. 110.7 passer rating, so that's nice to see. 60% completion percentage. I mean, when you got Christian McCaffrey, 827 rush yards, 8 TDs, and your secondary back is Alvin Kamara, and he's got 153.5, and Jameis Winston is also running behind there with 4 TDs. I mean, we could just run the ball all day. It's cool with me. Donovan Peoples-Jones actually surprising my leading receiver. 513 yards, 3 TDs. Zach Ertz doing his thing out there. Robert Woods, Deandre Hopkins. Then McCaffrey also doing his thing. Blocking has been pretty good. I have to say, McGlinchey 5, 6 for Pugh is not amazing, but other than that, everyone else has been phenomenal. Kazir White, 50 tackles, lead the team. 41 for Adrian Amos. Byron Jones, 37. 34 for Perryman, as you guys can see. In terms of QB sacks, 9.5 for Aaron Donald. He's looking really good out there. J.J. Watt with 6. And then we got 1.5 for these guys, half for Kazir White. In terms of interceptions, 3 for Casey Hayward Jr., 2 for White and Amos, 1 for Jones and Xavier Rhodes. In terms of kicking, Chris Boswell's been perfect. Johnny Hector's punting's been pretty solid. And you got your kick return and punt return. So, yeah. Second in offensive yards, only behind the Cleveland Browns. Our pass yards per game, obviously on the low end. Our rush is tops, and our scoring tops. So you love to see that. Defensively, we are also number 4 in terms of total yards. 1645 on the pass, near the top of the league. And then our defensive rush yards allowed is absolutely insane. We've only let up 89 points on the season, which is absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, this is one of the better teams from on paper, it seems. So hope we can keep it up. Do we want to make any moves? I feel like we don't need to. I mean, if we're 7-0, why touch something that isn't broken? So we'll keep the team the way it is. I mean, yeah, we'll keep the team the way it is. Why not? I'll see you guys at the end of the year. And hopefully we're one of the better teams in the NFL, which I assume we should be. Okay. We almost were undefeated for the entire season. We literally lost the last game of the season to the Jets. And we ended up going 16-1. So this team is legit. Obviously, you guys see our ranks are looking really good. 16-1 on the season. Fantastic season from us. So best team. Where were the Jets, by the way? Yeah, the Jets were 8-9. They got our 1 win against us, and they couldn't even get the playoffs. They could have just lost. Didn't felt like losing. But that's fine. That's all right. Yeah, 16-1. Great season. Let's take a look at the stats on the year. See what we got. Yeah, Winston not really passing the ball a lot. Under 4,000 receiving passing yards, but, 34 TDs, 4 interceptions is good. 108.6 passer rating. So when he does pass, it's working. McCaffrey, 1925 yards, 19 TDs is ridiculous. Winston, 390 and 7, 338, 11 for Kamara as my secondary back, which is absolutely insane. Robert Woods was my leading receiver, 16 TDs, 1,156 yards. That's good. Hopkins was my second. Then Peoples-Jones, Hurts. Okay, yeah, not too bad there. And then in terms of our blocking, it looked pretty good. McGlinchey led up the most sacks with 10, but other than that, it was excellent. How about tackles? Kazir White on defense, leading the way with 117. Almost with 93. 91 from Denzel Perryman, 75 for Byron Jones. Xavier Rhodes had 73. How about sacks? 20 and a half for Mr. Aaron Donald. 10 for Watt. Luvu had 3.5, and then 1.5 for Kazir White and Perryman. So a lot of people on my team had sacks, but those that did get sacks, they did get sacks. And how about on defense? We had 2 guys with 6 interceptions. Byron Jones and Casey Hayward Jr. locking up people on the lines, locking up those receivers. And then White, Amos, and Rhodes also had 3, so doing their job out there. In terms of kicking, Chris Boswell was excellent. Johnny Hecker's punting, the kick return, and punt return out there, so that's cool to see. Top 5 total offensive yards. The Commanders number 1, but we were 5. 6,637. I just butchered whatever I just said there. Yeah, near the bottom in passing, but our rush was so far better than everybody. Well, actually, not really. The Ravens, even well, unless they have Lamar Jackson, it's kind of surprising that they are still. Some things never change. The Birds. Bears, Birds and the Bears. Bears were kind of below everybody else, but yeah, number 1 in terms of PPG, passing touchdowns. I never really look at this, but yeah, I would say we were kind of bottom half of the league there. Rush TDs, 2nd. And then, yeah, cool stuff there. Defense, number 1 in terms of total yards. 44.50 on the pass, I want to say is probably middle of the pack. Top half of the middle. And our rush was, yeah, by far the best. And 284 points allowed. Yeah, we were pretty crazy on that end. 37 sacks. Surprisingly, yeah, middle-ish, but top half the middle. And then interceptions, 21 as a team. Yeah, we locked up people on D, so I'm going to assume we got some awards here, but Zach Wilson was the MVP. James Winston was runner-up, though. And then Nick Sirianni, Coach of the Year. Yeah, it's 2 straight Coach of the Year. This time, hopefully, maybe this time we can get the Super Bowl. So we're in the divisional playoff automatically, so that's cool to see. Let's see who we're taking on. We'll potentially be taking on, so yeah, your playoff bracket. I feel like I forgot to show you guys this last season. But yeah, Commanders in the bottom right corner. So yeah, I'll see you guys at divisional. All right, well, it's going to be the Battle of the Birds. The Seahawks versus the Eagles. And the Seahawks actually have a good team. This is a good team right here. No, I don't want to quit. Who is on their team? I mean, might as well take a look. Because it is a fantasy draft, so it's not like... it's not like who you think it would be. I mean, granted, when there's free agency, people move around too. But, oh, they have Lamar Jackson. Look at that. Tris Wirfs, Denzel Ward, Payne, Moore. Honestly, this team is good, too. Yeah, they got some talent. They definitely have some talent. Some young talent, too. I saw they drafted Eli Ricks. All right, well, let's see how we do. Do you guys... You know what? I'm going to do the... You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do... This video, I'm feeling frisky. Let's just watch the Super Sim. We'll do it. It might be a longer video than usual for Madden, but you know what? It's worth it. Alright, so we're Super Simming it. Seahawks score first on the board, 3-0. They get another TD. It's 10-0. We have not scored yet. Alright, we scored a TD, 10-7. Second half, we take the leads, 14-13. We take the lead, 21-13. Another TD. We get another TD there, 28-13, 31-13. And we score a field goal there. They get a TD to end the game. But we do advance to the NFC Conference Championship game. Let's see who we're taking on there. So we already taking on the Carolina Panthers, and they have pretty good rankings. Obviously, we have better rankings, but let's take a look at the roster here that we're dealing with the Panthers. So I kind of don't know who's on their team. I'm curious to see who is on their team. Brian Burns, Austin Eckler, Dak, okay, Marshawn Lattimore, A.J. Brown. I mean, obviously they have a talented team because they made the playoffs, but and they're here in the NFC Conference Championship game, so they have a good team. Will they be able to beat us? Will we be able to beat them? That's the real question. So let's go to the Super Sim. All right, the Super Sim, and we are off to a good start with a TD. They get a TD back in the first quarter. We get one right back in the second. They get one back. It's back and forth. We get a field goal We got to make sure we can stop them here. 17-14. And we score a TD, go up 24-14. They get one, 24-17. We score another one, though, and we're up by 2 TDs. They get a field goal in the fourth quarter. We get a field goal as well, and we hold on to advance to the Super Bowl for our second straight season. Let's see if we can avenge our loss from last year. And to no surprise, we're taking on the best team in the AFC, the Denver Broncos. They were 14-3. They have a solid team, I would assume, because they're in the Super Bowl. You guys see our rankings, their rankings. I wonder who's on their team. I kind of forgot who they had. I mean, I don't even know because I didn't really look. But let's take a look at their squad, who they have here. So the Broncos, they got Vea. They've got DK Metcalf, Josh Allen. The QB is Mac Jones. Mac Jones. I wanted to draft Mac Jones, then he ended up getting drafted. And then I guess that's why we settled for Winston. Because I took... who did I take in the second round? I think I took McCaffrey, yeah. I took him because I feel like he wasn't going to be there. So I was like, you know what? Let's get running back. So yeah, they have a good team. Let's see if they can beat us, though, in the Super Bowl. And let's see if we can get the job done here. We start off with a 10-0 lead in the first quarter. They get a field goal, though, in the second. We get a field goal here, 13-3. They get a TD, 13-10. Going to the half. Third quarter, we get off with a TD. It's 20-10. Now it's 20-17. We score 27-17. It's 27-20. Back and forth. We get a big TD to pull away. And the Eagles, we get our Super Bowl in the second season. Made it last season. Couldn't get the job done. Lost to the Raiders in a close one. And this time we won by, 2 TDs. Pretty solid stuff there. We get a Super Bowl in our second season. And that is incredible stuff there. I'm curious to see the awards. You guys can see the celebration. We avenge our loss from last year. And those are some interesting uniforms that they got going on here. Yeah, awesome stuff from your Philadelphia Eagles as we end up winning the Super Bowl. So to recap what we did, Jameis Winston was the Super Bowl MVP. Fair play to him. I mean, yeah, great stuff there. Looking at the rest of the awards here, we don't have everybody here. Zach Wilson, Nick Sirianni, obviously you saw that. Eckler was Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year was Von Miller. C.J. Stroud from the Buccaneers, and then Jacqueline Roy from the Colts, Offensive Neck Rookie of the Year, respectively. Man, I'm stuttering. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go on to the third and final season because we got one more season. Might as well try to win 2 out of 3, potentially. All right, well, once again, we have a lot of players up for renegotiation. Christian McCaffrey being the number 1 option here to try to re-sign. But there's a few other guys I wouldn't mind keeping here, which I think we can get McCaffrey back pretty easily. I can always franchise tag him too. We'll have still a lot of money to play in free agency. Casey Hayward, who's regressing, but he's still pretty good. Glingy, Luvu. Yeah, there's a few guys here I wouldn't mind keeping. I'll offer some contracts too. And we'll see if we can keep him. So the only person I wasn't able to resign was Luvu. I mean, I could franchise tag him, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to have a lot of money once again in free agency to play around with. I feel like every time we do a fantasy draft, it's always money. So that's beautiful. I'm excited to see who we can pick up here in free agency. See if we could try to get the 3 straight Super Bowls. If only we could have won the first Super Bowl, that'd been insane. And we literally only lost 1 game last season, so that's another insane thing. Had we not lost to the Jets, we'd have been perfect. So let's view what we did in free agency. We did make a few signings here. We got Curtis Samuel to add to our wide receiver pool. I picked up another defensive tackle, Javon Hargrave. Got Jayon Brown, new mid linebacker. I re-signed Frank Luvu, and then we also got Chris Wormley back at left end, and fits the game of the team. So cool stuff there. And we still have a lot of cap room. We had the draft, but I was going to see if we could try to make a couple trades to fill some additional positions of need. Second, next season, and then our 3rd and 4th round pick to the Buccaneers. We got back Runyon and Corbett, 2 guards that fit the scheme of the team and will be improvements for those positions there. So pretty solid pickup for us, I'd say. Here, 1st, 3rd, and 4th round pick in 2025 to the Falcons. We got back Onyemata, defensive tackle. We got Matt DeJohn, another left outside linebacker for the team. So that's going to be all the moves we make. I have a couple draft picks, but they don't really matter since I'm not drafted people anyway, so, and they're low. So yeah, I'll see you guys start at the final season. So for the 3rd and final season, this is the roster that we're going to be fielding, which is going to be pretty insane. You got McCaffrey, Donald, Kamara, Simmons, Hopkins, Corey Linsley. You got Adrian Amos, Byron Jones, Kyle Juszczyk, Trent Brown, Matthew Judon, Robert Woods, Curtis Samuel, Chris Boswell, Mike McGlinchey, J.J. Watt, Kazir White, Casey Hayward Jr., Jonathan Peoples-Jones, Austin Corbett, Johnny Hecker. I mean, yeah, this team goes on and on. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how good this team is. Yeah, there's a lot of good players. I think we could potentially get back to the Super Bowl again. Hopefully, that's the goal, is to maybe get to the Super Bowl 3 straight seasons and maybe win 2 out of 3. I'm still mad about the first one. I feel like I should have won the first one, but at least we got one. So it's been successful. Let's try to see if we can continue this success. So I'll see you guys at the midseason. I'm not going to be making moves right now, but I do want to take a look at the improved team functionality. Also, not having injuries on is pretty insane too. I mean, tight end, Ertz. Maybe we try to get a better tight end than him at some point, but even then, it's not too bad. Left guard, Pugh and Runyon. I mean, that's fine. And then mid linebacker, Jayon Brown, Kazir White. Oh, Kazir White's not a mid linebacker, but you know, we'd always try to trade for maybe one more piece at the trade deadline if we need to. But yeah, I like this team. It's looking really good. I'll see you guys at the end of this, like I said, the midseason, where we'll see how good we are. I assume we'll be, once again, really, really good. Season, and not quite the season of last year, but 5-2. Still solid. Commanders are bad now since they lost Rodgers and Miller. They both retired. So, Cowboys are making the comeback here, 5-2 as well for them. Our rankings look pretty good. We're not awful in anything, which is good. I mean, 19th in pass yards per game, but still not too bad. Defense yards per game, 14th, and we're top 10 the rest of the categories. So yeah, 5-2 on the season, looking pretty good. Not the best team in the NFC. That's the Rams, who also signed Nick Chubb, which I thought about doing in free agency, but I was like, you know what? Why do I need McCaffrey, Chubb, and Kamara? Like, that I think is kind of just a joke. But I could have done it as a joke because, you know, it's a fantasy draft, right? It's not real, and injuries are off, so. But yeah, there you guys can see the standings. But let's take a look at the stats. Let's look at the stats, see what we got going on here. So Winston has been pretty good, not gonna lie. Could be a bit better, not as great this season, I feel like, but still 100.7 passer rating, 68% completion percentage, 15 TDs, 6 interceptions, 755 yards, not too bad. McCaffrey, 699 and 6, that's looking solid. And then Winston's been pretty solid in the rush. Same thing with Alvin Kamara is my secondary back, which is pretty cool. DPJ leading my team in receiving yards. And then we've got Zach Ertz, 407, 396 for Hopkins. He's got the most receiving TDs, though, with 4, and Robert Woods, 285 and 3. McCaffrey also getting some touches out there, so is Alvin Kamara. And then in terms of blocking, it is very good. McGlinchey, 6 sacks allowed, though. A little too much for my liking, but it's all right, though. I mean, other than that, he's the only one. I mean, only allowed 10 sacks as a team is pretty cool. Then your terms of tackles for the defense, you guys can see the leaders here. And then sack-wise, we've got Aaron Donald, 4.5, 2.5 for Watt. And yeah, not too many sacks this time around. And interception, same thing, just 3 this year. So, okay. Boswell leading, doing his thing out there on the for the field goals, only missed 1. You know, those extra points in the other punting, kick return, and punt return. So, 9th in the league in offensive yards gained. Or passing, I assume, is probably going to be somewhat near the bottom, but actually it's more towards the middle, which is not that bad, actually. And second best rush yards in the league. PPG, 31.7, near the top. How about defense? Eagles are going to be near the top of the league. Pass yards per game allowed, or pass yards allowed, rather, not per game. We're pretty solid there. And then rush yards allowed, also pretty solid. And then 156 points allowed, near the top 2. So we're doing pretty good. I mean, maybe we try to make one move and try to get some additional players for the team. Not that we really need to, but we have the ability to do so. So might as well take advantage of it, I would say. Because if we look at the cap space, we have a lot. So, and then our draft pick situation, we do have a first, second, third round pick in 2026. So maybe I try to flip those for something. Maybe try to make a move or 2 for offense and defense. And yeah, I'll see what's out there. If I can make a move, I'll show you guys, and then we'll go from there. All right, I traded a first, third, and fifth round pick to the Giants. We got back Pierce, so another defensive tackle for the team. That should help us out a little bit on defense. So welcome to the team, Pierce. Trying to make it here. Second, fourth, and his fifth. To the Jaguars for Disley. So we got another tight end. Fits the scheme of the team. And back up Zach Ertz. So another option there too. So that's all move we're going to make. I'll see you guys at the end of the season where I assume we will once again be in the playoffs. Look at that. We are in the playoffs sitting at 13-4. So once again won the NFC East. Unfortunately, did not win the division this time. Remember, you guys see our rankings were excellent. Pass yards per game was 19th. That was our worst. And then the Green Bay Packers, 16th in defensive points per game, but we were second. So yeah, this team, that's what we're taking on. They have a good squad, I imagine. And you know what? Since we've been doing this, we might as well just do the rest. Just like this, where we just show the Super Sim. Rams, best team, 14-3. Should have signed Nick Chubb. And granted, this time around, because for some reason, if you do it online, I guess you can't do fantasy draft with the active, unless you have to load in like an active roster, I think. And I was like, you know what, I'll just do the offline. It's fine. So yeah, that's why I haven't had any disconnects, which is good. So, and also the ratings might have been a little bit different than what you guys are used to, but I don't think it matters too much, right? But that's not important. What's important here is Jameis Winston put up 38 TDs and 12 interceptions. Over 4,500 passing yards, which is good to see. 60% completion percentage, 105.2 passer rating. So nice year from him. McCaffrey, 1,648 yards, 10 TDs, 11 TDs for Winston. Kamara had 8. That's my secondary back. It's crazy. Deandre Hopkins, lead receiver, over 1,000 receiving yards, 5 TDs, 930 and 9 for Woods, 842 and 10 for Will Disley. So he's a pretty solid pickup. Curtis Samuel, Zach Ertz. I mean, yeah, a lot of guys ended up getting some beating targets. That's good to see. Blocking was not too bad. Clean sheet, 14 sacks allowed. It's a little too high for me, but other than that, it was pretty good. Defense, we got our Jayon Brown and Kazir Whitestar, basically our linebackers leading the way. 88 for Jones, Johnson, 79. And you guys can see the rest of this rest there. In terms of sacks, 69 for Aaron Donald, pretty crazy. Michael Pierce, 6 sacks, 5.5 for Matthew Judon, 4.5 for J.J. Watt. Still killing it out there, doing his best. And then we have Armstrong, Kazir White, and the crew. In terms of interceptions, 3 from Amos, 2 from Jones, and then 1 from a bunch of guys down here. Okay, so Chris Boswell, 13-16. So he missed 3 field goals, but he's made all of his extra points, which is good to see. Johnny Hacker punting, and you got our kick return. Alvin Kamara getting a kick return TD, and then our punt return. Number 6 in the league in terms of offensive yards. That's good to see. Let's take a look at our passing. I feel like that's going to be probably near the bottom half of the league, and it is, but it's kind of middle-ish. But near the bottom, though. Probably bottom of the middle, but still close. Still close to middle. So it's close. Rush, though, near the top. And then our scoring was also near the top. So that's good to see. Defensively, yards, nice. We were pretty solid there. Passing, didn't let too many people advance up the field against our pass. And then rush, second best there. Rams are actually really good on defense. Yeah, we were second in terms of points allowed. So good stuff there. Take a look at the awards, at least the MVP and Coach of the Year. We got Deshaun Watson on the Cowboys. And then 3-time Coach of the Year winner, Nick Sirianni. Let's go. All right. Well, we're taking on the Packers. Let's see if we can beat them in the wildcard playoff. So we're super simming. I forgot to show you guys the roster, but they have Trevor Lawrence as their starting QB. They go off to a 7-0 start. They're up 14-0. We do get a TD, bring it to 14-7. We got to make sure we can get a stop here and score. They get a field goal. We get a TD, 17-14, 24-14. Going to the fourth quarter. We need to score here. We're down 31-14, 31-17. It looks like we're going to actually lose this game. And yeah, they scored a TD. Wow, yeah, they beat us. We lost by 3 TDs. Yikes. All right, well, unfortunately, could not get back to the Super Bowl in our third and final season. And I just wanted to show you guys, yeah, I mean, it's not always a guarantee. And we ended up losing the game to them. And Trevor Lawrence had a field day against our team. 4 TDs. Yeah. Well, I guess with that being said, let's just see who wins the Super Bowl and then close up the video. Ravens ended up beating the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen was the Super Bowl MVP. And then you guys see the rest of the awards here. Taylor's, Parsons, and then you had Steven Jordan from the Bears, and Andrew Bond from the Steelers. So, I'd say pretty successful. Got to the Super Bowl first season, lost, probably could have won it. Second season, Super Bowl again. That time we won it. And third and final season, we kind of just got blown out in the wild card playoff game, unfortunately. But it happens. Still a solid video, I'd say, in my book, and a successful challenge, as we did get the Super Bowl that we wanted within 3 seasons. So with that being said, though, let's go to the full stream. All right, everybody. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button on it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Let me know down in the comments below what video it is. Social down in the description. Got a playlist down below for other Madden NFL 2030 franchise rebuilds and also challenges as well. Let me know some challenge ideas down below. Career sims, if you want to see some career sims too. We'll look to do those, throw those in there as well. And yeah, check out my channel like ConBTJP. Second channel down in the description. I'm gonna head on out. So thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon. Peace.